Aloha, everyone, and welcome to a very special edition of Phoenix Friday. And today we have a special guest, Joanna Easton. She is an angel intuitive and a registered yoga teacher. Before I get to her bio, I just want to say that not only is she a master teacher, but she is also one of our community family members. And she is a personal angel tribe sister for myself and Nick. So,
Mm.
welcome, Joanna Easton, Angel Intuitive. And hello, Michelle. Thank you for joining us. So let's learn a little bit about Joanna. So, Joanna is an angel intuitive and registered yoga teacher. And through her divine connection, she allows angels to be the beautiful way to connect with the divine, to help make our human experience more joyful and less stressful. And as a registered yoga teacher, she shows us how a regular yoga practice helps calm our system, find solutions, make life supporting choices, and assists us in making healthy decisions. As a natural teacher, Joanna is happiest when sharing with others how to take esoteric concepts and deliver them in a way that is practical, user friendly, and easy to understand. For 20 years, Joanna has been teaching and inspiring positive change in many people's lives and is the creator of Angel Academy and a variety of ongoing angel classes whose mission is to inspire, uplift, nurture, and empower the human spirit through the medium of angels. So, everyone, please welcome our beautiful Joanna Easton. And I love everybody just comes on and they say hello. And if you guys missed it, she was on one of our Silly Rainbow shows. And hopefully, if her busy
Mhm.
schedule allows, we'll have her back another time on our Silly Rainbow show.
Oh, I'd love it. I'd love it. And I see all the comments popping up. So I just feel so welcomed and supported. So thank you, not only to Janelle and Nikki, who's behind stage making magic. We were joking before the show started. I'm like, everybody needs a Nikki, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yes,
it,
everybody is a Nikki. We need to bottle her.
oh my goodness. Yes, she'd be sold out. There'd be a back order. I'm pretty sure there'd be a back order. So, but yeah, I'm seeing all these people coming on, and I just thank you. What a great intro. And I'm thrilled to be on the show and that you invited me on. And you're right, I was on Silly Rainbows before, and that was so great. I had such a great time. And I even did a few readings. So I've earmarked a little bit of time today. I can pull a few cards
Ooh,
for people that
ooh,
I don't mind, like
you
50.
guys are in luck. Speaking of card pulling, um, before I ask questions,
Sure.
I noticed that because you guys check out her page, Joanna Easton, Angel Intuitive. Nick can drop the link in the comments, but she not only does her Monday angel readings, but she also does on Sundays. You
Mhm.
do a weekly forecast, and what I really love about this week's forecast was this weekend was the three of air. All about taking care of yourself and being in that relaxation. And this was like the perfect, I saw that and I was like, this is the perfect card for your upcoming class tomorrow.
Mm.
For that yoga for earth angels class. I was like, the divine picked that card, just the three of air. So, you guys, she has a yoga class tomorrow. So there will be a link in the comments so that you guys can register for this class. It doesn't matter if you've been doing yoga all your life or are completely new at it. Our Joanna will create an experience that is divinely inspired and will also end with a meditation as well, correct?
Mhm.
So we're going to get into more about the class later, but I just had to touch on the fact that you do these weekly forecasts, and this week's was just perfect. Thank you, Nick.
Oh,
So the registration link is in the comments, guys. Go and register. Um, so the question that I addressed to my guests on Phoenix Friday is about how following your heart, answering the call, stepping into your intuitive life and divine connection has helped you become the phoenix that you are, has empowered you to become the phoenix you are, and how how does what you do in your life right now help you to empower the phoenix in others?
mm. So, first of all, I want to tell you that's a great inquiry right there because those are big. I mean, those are books have been written just on each one of those questions, and so I love it. And so those of you who are new to me, I had some very traditional jobs. One of them was I worked at Walt Disney World for 9 years and I was a cast member there. So that's why I love using like with Nikki behind the scenes magic. Like I actually used to teach a class called, backstage magic, and because it really takes a team to make something like Walt. One of the classes I taught was about Walt Disney and his vision. And even you can have somebody like a Walt Disney, but without people being inspired by it, it doesn't go anywhere. So one of the takeaways I took from working at a big, huge, amazing place like Walt Disney World, what their mission is it's like happiest place on earth, right? So once you enter those gates or you're on property, it should feel seamless. And we would do whatever we could to make that appear that way and to be there and whatnot. So I've really taken that as well into that because I would work with guests and see people that just going a little bit above and beyond,
Mhm.
it wasn't always hard for me to do, but just to see how much that would make someone's vacation or, just to bring life to it. And I think about, Walt was born into poverty and he was bankrupt several times. He lived on the streets and he was still, with his brother and other people able to bring this amazing concept forward. So I think for me, so I worked at Disney World and then I became a teacher. I was a classroom teacher. I taught high school, US history and world cultures. So I was dealing with teenagers all the time. And you want to talk about a tough audience because they will check out like nobody's business. So littler kids are more engaged and they think you're funny and nice and they just want to please. And high schoolers just roll their eyes and give audible sighs and all that. So, but I really took, because I taught a lot of courses at Disney World where I used the theme parks as my classes, where it was very
Mhm.
engaging. So I tried to bring that to the classroom as well to really make content come alive. And it's interesting because because I was inspired by it, I had students that would ask to transfer into my classes from other teachers. So not all the other teachers were thrilled all the time because my classes were packed because they weren't as boring. And so what I found that so I was on that track and then I taught yoga. I was teaching yoga for years and years. Um, and then, like I shared before on the Silly Rainbows, it was back 2015, 2016 is when the angels really grabbed us, Mother Mary specifically, literally came to me and was like, okay, now you're mine. And basically, I mean, not exact words, but literally, she relit me like the phoenix, the fire within at a time that I thought my fire was gone forever.
Um,
Part of her message to me was, I'm relighting you so that you can go out and help others. Remind them that they have light, that they're important. They're also a child of the divine. They are kings and queens. They are royalty. They're the daughters and sons of royal beings. So she literally like said, I will be with you. I'm going to help you. I will, don't worry about it. But this is what you're going to do for me now is I will give you everything you need to know on the day that you need to know it, no sooner. But it's that fire. Like, and I could literally feel her relight me, and every essence of my being was alive in a way that was different from before. Like I actually felt like, oh, this is what I'm meant to do. And I realized that everything I'd done, Disney, teaching, yoga, and even I have horses as well, that all of this different way of communicating and working with people and teaching, because she used what was already alive in me and she enhanced it and then amplified it. So oftentimes when I'm working with clients or students or people I'm reading for, I will tell them that the way the angels, like, the angels are behind you 110%. When you're being asked to start moving in a direction you're not quite comfortable with because you don't know a lot about it. And there's a reason, because the angels are like, finally, we can get through to you, because we're not going to always give you amplify content that you're excellent at, because we usually ignore the angels. So they're going to take maybe a thread of something that we're already good at, but they're going to bring in things to support it and peak something alive in you that you didn't really know was there. But as you begin to learn it, it feels like I already came in with this, right? So I love to share that with people and just remind them, it's like, you are of the divine. You have as much light in you as me. And the angels and Mother Mary, these divine beings, not only did they imagine you and pray for you, they breathed life into you. There is not an administrative error. They didn't mess up on the other side. They knew exactly what they were doing. It's like, you are meant to be here.
Yeah, I have very special connection with Mother Mary and Jesus, and this is my team, and there is this fire that ignites, and they do have a way of letting you know that you don't need to know right now, because you will know when it's needed. You will know what you need to know when you need to know it. And I get that message so often, and it's so frustrating because I want to know, but I know that I will know when I'm meant to know. And I trust that when I am in a session with someone, that wisdom and that fire that is meant to ignite others will come through. And the words that flow through me, because I know it's not me, because I'm sorry, I ain't that smart. Okay. The wisdom that flows through me in that moment will be that spark that helps ignite them in their flight and in their journey. And guys, both Nick and I have been in Joanna's classes. So you guys, you have to experience it. And this is what I wanted you to speak on, is because when you teach a class, it is very experiential in a way that, it's not just so structured. There is structure, guys. Don't get me wrong. You will learn from this, because the way she goes about it, and which I admire about teachers when they do this, is you give the ability for every type of learner to integrate the information their way. There is the visual, there is the experiential, there are the words spoken, so the environment itself that she creates. And probably this stems from that Walt Disney World, Disneyland, that experience, because when we experience something, we understand it, and we can take it with us as our truth, because now it's more than just knowledge, it's understanding. And this is what you offer in your classes. Speaking of classes, you have tomorrow, guys, once again, jump on her website for Yoga for Earth Angels. The link is in the comments. You guys can register for it still. It's tomorrow. Doesn't matter if you're new at yoga or if you've been doing it all your life. I can see some of you guys, because I know you, some of you guys was probably doing yoga in the crib. Okay. So, but she has the ability to create an environment that is so experiential that it ignites you. And this is one of the reasons why it was so important for me to have you on the show Phoenix Friday, because I know this about you, because every time I watch your lives, I feel ignited. So this is
Mm.
your energy that you bring in. And thank you, Mother Mary, for waking you up and realizing that you have a divine calling. And so thank you for answering that call. So I loved the title, Yoga for Earth Angels. How did you come up with that?
Okay, as you were talking, I actually found the card that I was looking for. And some of you may or may not be familiar with this ascended master, but I was meditating a few weeks ago and it's interesting because I tell people all the time, like if you see repeating numbers, or if you hear someone tells you about a book and you hear it 3 times or more in a short period of time, that's an angel message. They're like, do we have to keep telling you this? Like, listen, this is something you need to be acting on. And I haven't taught yoga publicly in a few years, but I have my own practice. But I had a studio for a while. So anyway, I was meditating a few weeks ago after I'd been doing some master classes about the class I'm currently teaching, Ascended Masters and Goddesses. And I put a little bit in there in my bio that I had taught yoga and da da da. So anyway, at the end of that, so several people were like, well, are you going to teach a yoga class? I'd love to take a yoga class from you, because I talk about how I love to do restorative, gentle yoga. And actually, we spent some time in India a few years ago, and we were at this Ayurvedic retreat center in South India. It was amazing. And our yoga instructors were not American, which I wanted, because I actually wanted to study with someone who hadn't, like, I mean, I'm American, obviously you're American, but it's like, I'm like, if I'm going to go to India, I want someone from India that has not gone to the United States and doesn't see how we do, because we're such different cultures. Mm-hmm. And so while we were there, we did the whole Panchakarma, and it was fabulous. And part of my whole yoga, the way I taught yoga, really changed. And in fact, tomorrow, and I wanted to also mention that even if you can't make the time that I'm doing it live, don't let that be something that stops you, because I'm recording it on Zoom and the link will get emailed out to you later. So you don't have to make it live.
Nikki made a comment.
Yeah. Because, so yeah, Nikki's saying, yeah. That is the sign. So in a matter of 2 weeks, I heard 3 different times from 3 different people. Oh, and they talked about it in the present, like, you're already teaching classes, like, oh, when you work with your students, and I'm like, but I haven't taught, but this kept happening. Mm-hmm. So anyway, so I'm meditating a few weeks ago, and I called in. That's why I just found this card. This is Babaji. Oh. He is. Do you know Babaji?
No, Babaji. Tell me, do.
Oh, okay, Babaji. So there is a fabulous book called Autobiography of a Yogi. It's like a classic, and it's about Paramahansa Yogananda, who was born in the late 1800s, and he actually was. Babaji is an avatar. It's said that he's actually over 5,000 years old.
I just heard about him. Wow, synchronicities. Okay.
See, and he might have made sure you knew about him before the show happened, so that when I brought him up, you'd have a little bit of context. And for those people who don't know who he is, like, the first time I heard about Babaji, it was literally like, it was blowing my mind, but in a good way. I'm like, what? Because Yogananda had said Babaji was the guru, the teacher to his teacher. But Babaji only shows up to those who He wants them to see him, and he can bilocate anywhere. He could be in the Himalayas. The next minute he's in my living room. Then he could be in Janelle. Like it said that there's only one picture of him, and it's a drawing because he won't, photos won't turn out. He's an avatar. He's an ascended being. But it said there's been sightings of him in oral tradition in India for over 5,000 years.
Yeah.
So I'm meditating with him because I'm like, why am I being shown yoga? What's going on? And he showed me the title of the class. So I was like, I'm getting around to answering it. I was
right.
Context. So, it was Babaji showed me. He said, yoga for earth angels, because people need this right now. Because there's so many light workers and empaths and energetically sensitive people, mediums, all kinds of, those of us who are, even watching this show, like there's a lot going on in the world that's pretty stressful and tense. And that's part of, the beautiful thing about a gentle restorative yoga practice is it brings you back into yourself, because so much of our focus gets pulled outwards. And the more it gets pulled out, the more frightened our body becomes, because literally we have jumped out of our body. Our mind's not in the body anymore. So the little kid inside's like, oh my gosh, where did the adult go? Where'd the adult go? So through gentle yoga and just pranayamic breathing, just, focusing on prana, the breath, the reminders, is a beautiful way to show sacred devotion to the body. And it helps you connect more to your angels, because so many people that follow me, and I'm sure follow you, like love the angels as well. And I often get asked, Joanna, how can I think the angels are ignoring me, or I'm not hearing my signs. I'm like, honey, they are everywhere. It's just, if the mind's too busy, you're just not seeing it. So the gentle yoga, like the practice tomorrow that I'll be doing, actually helps to lift your vibration, because the angels they're vibrating here, right? And we're here. And if we get really distracted, it kind of takes us down. But when we become present, or even really become more in our body and tap into the guru within, it starts to raise our vibration. So then the angels don't have to work so hard to try to get messages to us, or we don't have to be hit over the head so hard to notice signs. Like the subtle becomes like, oh, of course I'm supposed to do that. Or of course, like solutions just show up, whereas before they were jammed. So that is Baba G. I got to give a shout out to Baba.
Yeah, it's interesting. I love when synchronicities come forth, because I was like, wow, so he's an avatar. And, I was intrigued by him. And then you brought him up. So I love that he assisted you with that title, and it's a good reminder not to forget that breath of life, so that we can stay present and be open to these messages. And I can see how yoga would really take us into a Zen state, so that we aren't distracted in our I was going to say cosmic world, but chaotic world, because there are so many stimuli coming at us that the distractions, we forget what the priorities are in the distractions, because there's so many of them, when in essence the priority is actually to come back in, so that we can hear the divine information and not just the external noise, of life happening, So, and what do if someone was to say, well, angels aren't human, what is your definition of earth angel?
I think where the world is going is that people see that we're actually all angels to each other. Now, I do want to clarify. I'm glad you brought this up, because the angels, like the archangels, the angels that most of us know, like Michael, Archangel Raphael, that they haven't had human bodies, right? And there are a few, like Sandalphon and Metatron, of course, were Enoch and Elijah in the Bible. There we go. Thank you, Janelle, Exhibit 1. And right behind you, you have the Queen
The
Mother Mary,
Queen of
the
Angels.
angels. So there's 3 people that were human and ascended. They were gifted ascension, right? So they actually are part of the angelic realm. They work, wing and wing, hand in hand, however you want to say it with that, with the angelic realm. But part of what I've been shown and what keeps getting reiterated to me is I had to redefine it, because when I was first learning about it, like really diving into angels, because Mother Mary was telling me, Kate, you're going to have to study up. Like, I need you to hit the books, baby. Like, I'm going to front load you with a bunch of information, and then it'll become, then it's going to be second nature. And then there's a base for her to be able to use. And I get a lot of cognizance information. But the angels like to do that. Whatever they're lighting up in you, they're going to want you to also get really, really deep into it. So get laser focused. So to answer your question, one of the things that has been getting shown over and over and over is that we are all angels to each other. Not an ascended being like the angelic realm, but we can be angel-like. It's like the difference between someone saying I'm a Buddhist versus being Buddha-like, or I'm Christian versus being Christ-like in the mystic, archetypal type of languaging, where it's like we actually take on that, what was alive for that person, that being at the time, and really hold that space. So to me right now, earth angels are all of us that are holding the light, or have been called to follow the light, even though you may not understand it. Because one of the things that I think that happens is, we're in this spirit form, we're infinite, right? There's no boundaries or barriers on anything. And then we get this invitation in the mail, and it says, hey, welcome there's a party on Earth, and you're invited. And the thing is, it's a costume party, so you have to take a human body. And so we answer the invitation, right? So we come down, and then so we answer the RSVP, and we're essentially put into a one-man suit or a one-man tent. And it's like, what? I was infinite and now I'm finite. There's all these boundaries. So what happens with most people is we come in and we look around and we go, oh no, this place is really hard. I need help. And believe it or not, Janelle, between 1960 and now, the Earth's population has doubled. Wow. There are more light workers coming in. It's not a coincidence. So I think so many of us that came down and have felt maybe lost, felt like I don't know why I'm in this family that I'm in, and just misunderstood. It's because we're starting to ping each other. It's like the lighthouse, the lighthouse that we're meant to remember what we really are, and to, these angel tribes coming together. And what I've found too is that people who do a lot of energy work, one of the areas they tend to lack in is really getting grounded, because meditation's good, but it's not the whole picture. And that was really, really noticeable to me when we were in India, because it was fascinating, because these instructors, these people from India that are these doctors and smarty pants, people, they teach all this yoga stuff, but they don't know how it's taught here in the West. And they were asking me about meditation. And they're like, well, how's it taught in the US? Like, well, you sit and you have a mudra and think of the word Om, which is classic. And the one guy, he says, what? This is not good. That is advanced meditation. Not that it's bad, but he said, there's moving meditation that's just as powerful. When you cook, when you wash your hands, when you're having a conversation with someone, when you're making yourself a pot of tea or something. And it's all it's one pointed awareness. And like with a yoga practice, that's moving. They consider that moving meditation because if the intention is that it's a sacred devotion and offering to the divine. Because as I mentioned, like we're spirit, we answer the RSVP. Okay, I'll go into a one-man tent, and then we get here like this is hard, and then we need to also take care of this vessel because the angels are also going to. So this is something I've seen a lot in my readings with people, is where people will say, well, I'm praying every day. I'm doing this stuff with the angels. I don't know why I'm not getting more guidance. And I just want to do this. I said, because thank Archangel Michael and Raphael, the healing angel, because your body has to also be able to handle the frequency coming in. And I go, and this is not to be taken lightly because you don't want to have a seizure. You don't want to have a disease or a breakdown because the angels' number one priority is to keep you in good health. Because if you're not in good health, what's the point of anything else, right? So it's like, that's great if you're a medium or whatever, but if you're not really taking care of this vessel, if you see it as a nuisance, the angels are going to definitely put a glass ceiling over what's possible. And it's not to be mean or anything like that. It's to take care. It's because they love you. They don't want you to have.
I see that. Yeah. I see that coming in for a lot of very, fantastic mediums and light workers, healers. They get exhausted. They get burnt out. They get overstimulated, and then they drop off. And so this grounding is very, very important.
Yeah. It's very important. So I'm glad that you've seen that too. And I remember one of the things when Mother Mary, so I'm very practical, I'm very practical as well. I call myself a spiritual pragmatist. But one of the things, like when Mother Mary was telling me, like, this is what you're going to be doing. And I told her, like, this is me telling, I'm like dialoguing with Mother Mary in my mind. I said, okay, I will do that, but I've got a couple caveats because I'd seen people that I love that were psychics and mediums and readers, and their life, they were sick, they were unhealthy. And so I said, I don't want, that's not me. Like if that's it, then count me out, go tap somebody else. But if you can help me remember to stay healthy, I'm in. But I think that's why Mother Mary had me doing yoga for almost 15 years before she opened the next layer of the lotus flower of wisdom to, okay, now you can go out. Because it's like, I'm going to get you healthy, get you grounded. And then, so you're not just so much in your mind and you're spaced out, right? So, and I'd also told her, I said, could you remove doubt and skepticism from me? Because, I'm raised in the age of reason, like we all are. The OHERC, observe, hypothesis, experiment, record, we're got to prove it, show me it before I can do it, believe it. I said, that's got to like get dimmed way down because otherwise I'm going to just, trip up on that all the time. So I'm like, if you could just remove that, that'd be great. And then infuse in, if you could amp up trust and faith, then I'm in. And those were my two caveats. And she met them like that. So those of you watching, you can absolutely tell your angels, like, this is what I want in my contract. Here's an addendum. And they'll do it.
I love that. And I'm getting an echo.
Oh, I hope it's not from my side.
And maybe it might be.
Oh, is it better now, Nikki?
Testing 1, 2. No, I've still got an echo. So that's okay because everyone wants to hear you speak.
Okay.
So I'll keep my side short, which is rare. Um, when we take this class, I noticed on the website, oh, better now. Thank you, Nick. Um, I noticed that there was a, because yes, I did go on the website, guys. There is supplies that we need. Okay. Um, can you tell people in advance a little bit about what those supplies
Yeah,
are?
there's suggested ones because I didn't want people to think, well, I don't have a bolster, I don't have I don't have these professional expensive yoga props, so I can't do it. That's why I put that image on there. It's the DIY, do it yourself. It's like, this is what a professional block that's like 12 to 15 bucks versus a stack of books from home, or get a big old encyclopedia or whatever, a dictionary, the old school. And it's like, okay, if you've got some firm blankets around, have those. I'm going to keep it really minimum because I know a lot of people are really new to it. So, I just wanted to show, like, so the really it's you yourself. I am going to be showing different versions of the yoga postures. So, any of you who have yoga props, have those around. But if you've got, I'm going to be showing quite a few poses in a chair. So for those of you who are like, I can't sit on the floor, even on a bolster or a really firm pillow, don't worry. I have taught a lot of adaptive yoga. So I show usually like, this is version 1, here's 2.0, and here's 3.0. So pick the one that you can do and do it, but don't force yourself into something that you can't really do, like a full like 3.0. If you're like, well, I'm actually at 1.5, well, then do 1.5. It's fine.
I
But
love.
the very minimum is like, have some kind of a firm pillow, like maybe that you have for a couch or something, and a couple like towels even are fine, like beach towels, big towels. If you've got some blankets, great. Just because for some of the restorative postures, they're very cooling, they're very nurturing. So it's very moon energy. It's we've got the yin and the yang postures here. So they're really receptive. That's where a lot of the magic happens. Like Nikki's the magic behind the scenes right here. In the restoratives, there's so much going on that we're not even aware of, but it does drop the body typically 2 to 5 degrees. So some of the blankets are to cover you, so you stay warm. And that's a big thing, because otherwise people start to get kind of chilled. And towards the second hour is going to be mostly restorative postures. So you'll want to have some socks close by. You might want to have an extra like sweater or something like that. But I do have that picture there. Again, like you can have a book. And if you don't have a yoga brick or a block, that's fine. I'm going to also have a chair, like you could have a folding chair, some kind of a chair that's from not like on a couch that sinks in, because that's actually bad for your hips and your low back. So if you have hip or low back issue, if you have a really squishy couch or furniture, that might be part of the problem, because the rule of thumb is if your hip flexors are below your knees, it causes the low back to reverse its natural curvature.
Oh.
So over time, because then you get the rounded shoulders, and the neck starts to hurt because there's tension, and then the eyes and the migraines.
We threw everything off alignment.
Yes. Now, if you have a wonderful couch, you can keep it. You don't have to go throw it away. What I like to do is I actually sit on a firm pillow. Like I actually put it on my couch where I'm watching. So my hips are slightly, at least in line with my knees, or slightly above. And so some of you might need a yoga strap, or I put on there, you can have a belt, like a bathrobe belt, jumping rope thing, some kind of a firm belt.
A dog leash? No.
Yes, actually, yeah, that would work just fine. Anything that like you might, yeah, dog leash is fine. Yeah, actually, it comes, a lot of the props come from BKS Iyengar, and he's really known as my yoga instructor had studied with him, actually gone to India, gone to Pune, and done like 3 different trainings when Iyengar was still alive. And he wrote the book literally on yoga props because he just used stuff around the house. He didn't have a marketing team behind him saying, oh, let's get these firm blocks and sell them for. No. A lot of the pictures in his first book were shown with stacks of books, pillows, chairs from around the house. It was bathrobe belt, the dog leash, like all of the original yoga props were just things you find around the house. That's it. So we've,
So we don't need to go broke so that we can attend this class.
Please don't.
So you
You
guys,
just need yourself.
everything that she's talking about in regards to the images and the class is on her website. For where just go to the link. It's in the comments. You guys can register there, and if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see exactly what she's referring to. These things are not stuff you have to go out and spend a lot of money on. They're things that you probably have all around your house right now. And be creative, put some flowers on, stuff and decorate it so that you're in this zen, you're in an enjoyable atmosphere for when you take the class. Thank you, Kathy. Kathy says, just register.
Oh, yay.
So,
excellent.
Yes, Kathy.
Oh, Kathy, yay.
Thank you so much.
So go ahead.
If you guys are wondering what supplies you need, if you've never done yoga before, or if you have been doing yoga all your life, starting in your crib, this is the experience that you want. She is not going to force something down your throats that your body is not ready for. She's allowing you to experience it where you're at on your journey. And this is one of the things that, as you guys get to know Joanna more, you will understand. This is how she gives her readings. Very layman terms. She allows you to get to know what it is she's saying in a way that resonates with you, with who you are and where you're at on your journey. So this is something that you guys, when I bring somebody on my show, I do so because I see their authentic light. And this is who Joanna is. So I wanted you guys to get to know her and to realize that as you follow her, checking out her website, you will see that she offers classes, all kinds of classes, angel classes, healings. I mean, she is just an all-around angelic being herself here on earth. So she does do the card readings on her Monday mornings. And if you guys haven't caught it, maybe she'll give you a little bit of a taste.
Absolutely.
And I know that Nick had won a reading with you, which I was like just totally jelly-o because I was like, I want to win a reading with Joanna. So Nikki, I know that Joanna can't really see the people in the comments unless you bring them on. So I'm going to let you choose who gets to intuitively be pulled up, and we'll see what Joanna has for them because she only has 15 minutes, guys. I'm going to honor her time. I'm not going to ask that she does everybody, but let's get a few people in and give them a taste of your magic.
All right. Absolutely.
And my dog is barking.
Your dog's like, I want a reading.
Exactly. His name is Saint Francis. We call him.
That is so funny.
He's a very dramatic child of mine. I allow him to have his emotions. So.
Oh, I love animals. So that's great. They're like little angelic beings as well, our helpers. So I see Kurti saying, can I get a card, please? Absolutely. So Kurti, I am going to work with Angel Tarot Cards by Bradley Valentine. So let's just see. And Janelle and Nick know that on Mondays when I go live on Facebook, it's Joanna Easton, Angel Intuitive. It's 11 a.m. Mountain, 1 p.m. East Coast that I have decks around me. And whenever someone wants a reading, I just I'm guided to whatever deck I'm supposed to use for you. And so this is the one that I've been guided to use for you. So let's see what these angels want you to know. Okay, well, this one popped right up. So, ooh, okay, Kurti, I think you can see. This is the Knight of Earth. Can you see that? The Knight of Earth. It's a wonderful knight on his horse there. Now, knights are messengers in this particular deck. So he comes with a message. This is, of all the cards in this particular deck, there's only one that represents your guardian angel has a message. And this is it, Kurti. So your guardian angel is wanting you to know that you are more protected than you realize right now. There's been a feeling of being lost, right? And so I don't know if you can see, but there's a mountain range behind him. And mountains in tarot represent heights or like situations that seem so big that we can't scale them. And that's because you're not supposed to scale them alone. You can't. It's with guides, it's with other people, because the next level of success or the next level of your life is meant to be with collaboration, cooperation. So your guardian angel really wants you to know, Kurti, he's heard your prayers. They are being answered. He wants you to know he's shown up. He's going to give you a ride on that beautiful, majestic horse of his and help you scale these mountains and they won't feel so big. And he's going to continue to send messengers and helpers to you. So your job is to, when they show up, say thank you, right? Don't push them away like, oh, this person said they're going to help me, but then I'm going to have to help them. No. Because that's how our ego works, right? We're like, oh, I'm going to owe this person. No, you're not. The Knight of Earth is, again, it's about grounding. He's helping you feel more grounded in who you are and stable and saying yes to your life, but you are guided. You have so much help around you. So you're not alone. He's with you. So he really wants you to know that. So I hope that helps. So beautiful. Yay.
And
so who else?
Thank you, Nikki, she did drop the link to your Facebook page and put the time of your free angel readings as well. So everybody like and follow, and every time she goes live, you'll get a notification.
Yeah, I will. Thank you, Janelle. I love it. Carol saying, if you're guided, you want a card. Yes, absolutely, Carol. Okay, this one is angel therapy. Angel therapy. And there's even Archangel Raphael, the healing angel on the front there. So let's see, Carol, what your message is. And I often tell people, Janelle and Nikki know this, but anyone watching is going to actually benefit from these messages because there's a reason you're watching. The angels know what you need to know, and they'll oftentimes answer through other people. So if you watch, even if people watching and you're not Carol, and you think, oh my goodness, that card was for me, it's because it was. It's multiple readings happening at once. Oh my. Okay, so Carol, this is a really beautiful card here. You have power animal. Power animal. So let me read the full message. It says, your animal spirit guide is a guardian to you and is helping you with this situation. So the situation that you've been really going back and forth on, that's like keeping you up at night, that you've been worrying, over analyzing, that's really got you kind of out of sorts. So your angels want you to know they're sending you signs through a power animal. So if you haven't already noticed, much like angel signs, they send that too with animals. Like, so I live in Montana, and lately even last night I was riding one of my horses and there was a lone deer, a doe, and she followed us, which is very unusual because normally the deer, they scatter out. And anytime an animal Like when I notice an animal and it acts not as its normal behavior, I take special note because I realize I'm like, oh, because spirits, angels can shapeshift into, they can borrow a body for just a brief moment of time. Your spirit animal comes through your guides. So if you've noticed a recurring theme of a certain animal that's been showing up, like just in the last week or so, you may want to Google what that one is about. Like I'll just use my example, like the deer, a doe specifically is gentleness. Is to trend it. That's one of the most gentle creatures. It's a prey animal. It's not a predator. It's very vulnerable, but it's just this gentle, beautiful creature. They can leap over things easily, very community based. But now if it's a buck, a young male it has a very different message because they're more like, it would be a reminder of to take charge of the situation. Now, don't be so passive, right? So it's a smart creature. They're still very community herd creatures, but so you may want to look at what animal's been showing up for you because it's there to help you. It's an answer to your prayers and an answer to what am I supposed to do about, and they're sending you the animal. So I hope that helps you, Carol. That's a great reminder, isn't it?
I love that you presented it in a way that it's like when an animal catches your attention and it's kind of acting a little out of character. Mm-hmm. It's like, pay attention, this is different. Okay, you have my attention for this match. It's like yesterday, we do have owls on Molokai, but they're usually flying out in the field, where their food source is and stuff. And I always they always catch my attention. And I had a very divine experience where a giant white owl saved my life. I mean, it was not, when I say giant white owl, I'm referring to man-size white. I mean, I felt it was spiritual. It was not a real owl. So owls are very important to me. And yesterday, an owl flew and it caught my eye because I'm like, wait, the owls don't usually fly between the houses. And it was flying in between the houses opposed to out in the field where they normally do. Okay, what's that one about? But they do things just a little out of character. They're still being an animal, but it's just a little out of character enough to catch your attention. So I love that.
And
you see, she is a natural teacher, you guys.
I love teaching. And that's what, again, I think that's why Mother Mary was like, here, I know, because I helped make you. So we're just going to I'm going to have you teach something different. You don't have to teach about the Civil War and, the Tea Party anymore. Just teach angel classes. I'm like, yay. I love it. So what I was going to say, Janelle, though, what came to me as you were talking about the owl is, and you probably already know this, but for other people watching too that have a connection, especially to white owls, Athena, the Greek goddess, she is always shown with a white owl, and it's said to be it's made from the gods and goddesses. It's very enormous, and she, even though she's shown sometimes as a warrior goddess because she's shown with a sword, but she has her owl. The way she likes to do battle is with words and wisdom. And she is a protector goddess, especially very connected with women. But she will often show herself to us through her owl. So you'll know that. I mean, it most likely was an angel as well. But these ascended beings, like these gods and goddesses and ascended masters, work right alongside the angels. So that is really cool that you were.
Athena has actually been stepping forward more for me as well. So this was just validation by you explaining all of this as well and bringing her into it. So we have
I can stay on till 10 after. So I've got like another.
I want to make sure I honor your time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm good for 15 more minutes. So Nikki,
All
you
right,
can
guys.
request the time. No, this is great. I'm enjoying, and it's fine.
I mean, don't you love the energy when you're doing cards? People,
Oh,
I get so energized while I'm in it when I'm in that zone of pulling cards because I know it's kind of like I get to go on vacation and I just get to allow that energetic flow to go through me. So it's not really exhausting. It's actually fun for me. It's like, on my show when we do the Silly Rainbow show, it is more of a get together. It's an energizing get together with
mm,
all of the energy of everybody in the audience. So thank you for
yes.
sharing your gift of card reading,
Yeah.
everyone.
You're right that no, I love it because I get a charge from it. And then like people, you probably get asked this too, but I'll get asked by other people all the time, like, well, it doesn't not by readers. This is by friends of mine who have normal jobs, and whatever, they're exhausted all the time. And I'm like, I used to have those jobs and I don't anymore because my CEO is Mother Mary. I'm like, she tells me where to go, what to do. She's like, takes care of my scheduling, all of it. So, but I see it as, it goes through, not from,
Right.
right? It's like if it's coming
Absolutely.
from you, it is going to exhaust you. But
Yeah.
like with your experience and mine, I'm like, I love it because these are divine, cards and all that are just they're heaven, they vibrate so high. Those are like heavenly instruments. So I think when we're
Exactly.
connected and helping each other, it's just that, that circular energy that just brings a high to that person, to me. It's just,
I know.
and people watching, they get that serotonin hit. There's that happiness, like just by watching someone else have something amazing happening or hearing something really great from someone else, but you needed to hear it. Like it's that old saying, rising tide lifts all ships. And I think that's what
Right.
the angels do for us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because I do. I feel like I'm on a high. You
Mm.
know, when I'm able to allow these channeled messages to move through me, you can feel that energy move through. And I know even before a show, it's like, oh, okay, here we go, guys. You know they're all coming in. They know who's going to be on the show, in the comments and watching before I do. They pick my decks. I don't pick my decks. I allow them to say which deck wants to play together because they are sacred tools. And when
Mm.
you're interacting with them, when you're holding them, when you're pulling them, you're shuffling, you are just moving all of that beautiful energy. So it's so exciting to watch other people do it, and I can tell when they're in that zone, in that energy, and they're moving that divine, sacred energy through them. So I'm enjoying this.
Oh, I
I do,
love it.
I do need a card still though later.
Yeah, Janelle, you do need one. No, and I promised you that I would pull one for you today. And I plan on upholding that promise. So do you want me to pull yours now? Or should
No,
I read for someone? You want me yours now and then I'll do another person?
no, I will be patient. I will be impatiently patient. So
Okay, well,
divine
I'll
timing.
I'll pull someone else's and then I'm gonna do yours.
Okay.
You're not leaving today without a card pull.
Oh,
So
thank
there we
you,
go.
Rose. So Rose said she signed up for the class.
Oh,
So
yay,
thank
Rose.
you, Rose.
And you'll be getting this. I'm going to send you welcome letter emails as soon. For those of you who signed up with the Zoom link, and it's some great information. So yay. Well, welcome. I'm so excited for you. Yay. It'll be a great yoga class. So one of the things I did want to mention is about the first hour. I'm going to share with you what I learned when I was in India from the Indian yoga teachers, which completely changed the way I taught yoga because it's so much gentler over there. Because again, it's like if there's any pain at all, he's like, I don't know what you're doing, but it's not yoga. Because yoga is always in service of the soul. It's the soul leads, the ego follows. So when I was telling them how yoga is taught here, they didn't, I just stopped telling it. It sounded ridiculous. Like, oh, they turn up the heat. They have this thing called hot yoga and people are sweating and sometimes they pass out. Like it was like they were not happy to hear that at all. So I said, you know what, the way you do it is great. And so what I learned there, I'm going to bring that into the first hour of the class tomorrow, will all be what I learned from Dr. Vinod, like the other yoga instructors, where it's gentle, it's kind, it's literally, it's a way to keep the body healthy, and it's in devotion to the soul. Yeah, there's no pain. There is no pain. They have a complete opposite concept. There is no pain, no gain. That's a very American thing. And I was like, I don't know that you need to travel to the United States. If you do, just go to the parks like Yellowstone or Glacier. Like, don't go to a yoga class. I think you'd be horrified. So, but anyway, I just wanted to.
And again, the three of air stepped in on your
Yes.
forecast, and I was like, "Oh, this is just such a perfect card for your weekend event." You know.
You're right. The three of it's all about self-care, going within, healing the heart. Because in so many decks, it's the three of swords, right? Three of air, winter, and swords are the same, just different decks, same meaning.
Mhm.
And it's typically shown like in traditional tarot, it's the heart with three swords going through, meaning your heart needs some healing. So this, it's really, it is about that. So thank you for bringing that back in. You're right. You're absolutely right. And I see Zoe has a question. Did Joanna read cards for me? I don't think so, Zoe. I saw my name on the screen. It's now gone. So I will do that for you right now, Zoe. Sweetheart, I'm going to use Archangel Raphael healing cards. I love working with Archangel Raphael, the healer, because he knows whether it's emotional, physical, spiritual, or all of the above. So let's see what Archangel Raphael has, what his beautiful message is for you, Zoe. And thank you for being here today. I truly feel so honored. Okay. Let me shuffle one more time. That wasn't really clear. Okay, there we go. There it is. Okay. So Zoe, you're being guided to do more research. So this indicates, and there's Raphael on the mountaintop there. So what this indicates is that there's a dilemma. Well, what you perceive as a dilemma. You're going back and forth, because there's something that you really want to do, but your mind talks you out of it, tells you all the reasons, like, no, timing's not good. Who are you? The bossy part of you that wants to overanalyze and second guess is really kind of running the show right now, even though your heart already knows what it wants to do. And Raphael's very aware of this. So he's saying, okay, Zoe, do a little more research, because this is actually going to help alleviate some of the anxiety that you're feeling, because action always alleviates overwhelm. I'll say that one more time because it's really important. Action always alleviates overwhelm. So what you're really wanting to do, again, that you keep talking yourself out of, give yourself permission. Raphael's giving you permission right now. He's saying, okay, sweetheart, do a little more research into it. Look into it. Look at some books, classes, whatever it is that you've been like, oh, I don't want to look at it because if I get my hopes up, it's actually going to help give you the guidance that you're really needing, because it may be a lot more doable than you realize. Or it may be like, I don't even want to do that at all. But you're not going to know until you actually dive a little deeper. Now, there is a prayer here I'm going to read to you, and you can tweak it. You can add to it whatever you want. It's a way to take this message and repeat it. So you can just listen to my voice, listen along. You can close your eyes or have them open. It says, Dear God and Archangel Raphael, thank you for clearly and gently leading me to the information that I need to know for my well-being. Please give me the courage to be assertive as I take charge of my healthcare needs. And health, we don't want to just put it in a box like the physical body. Health is mental health, spiritual health, physical health, and also health of, relationships, all of it. So you are in good hands, sweetheart. Raphael's, I got goosebumps, angel bumps just thinking about this. Like, this is beautiful. And I hope that helps, Zoe. I hope that helps. What a great message.
Oh, thank you so much. And thank
Yeah.
you for sharing your gifts with, our community. And you guys, again, like and follow her page, register for her class, yoga with Earth, yoga for Earth Angel.
Yoga for Earth Angel. Oh, it could be yoga with Earth Angel because we're going to be all doing yoga together. So we
Yeah,
can be
all of
the
the Earth
double.
Angels. So register for her class, follow her on YouTube as well. And she also has her website. She's always coming up with great classes. And you guys keep your eyes open because whenever she has a class, I share it on our page. And hopefully soon she'll be our guest again on Silly Rainbow, and you guys can get some more time with her on as a guest on our show. But until that happens, you can always check out her weekly forecasts on Sundays and Mondays. Get some angel messages and guidance from her as well. So before you disappear,
Yeah, I know. And I just wanted to say, Zoe, I read your messages and I'm so glad she's saying it really like, and crying from your heart. It's the way the spirit gives emotion out. So I never see crying as like a bad, to me, it's like the spirit has its wellspring. So those are like happy to, so,
I call tears sparkles of healing water.
oh,
Because it cleanses and it makes room for that love and light to come in.
mm,
When you're inviting the divine into your home, you want it to be nice and sparkly, so allow those sparkles of healing water to flow. you know
mm.
it really makes a sacred space within you to really receive that divine love and compassion and healing, whatever it is that you need. So
Oh,
sparkles of healing water, that's
I
what I call.
love it. So Janelle, and then I might have time to do one more after you. So, um, you know what? I rarely use this deck, but I'm really it. Literally before I came on with you and Nikki, the goddesses, I
Oh,
knew they were like, we're for Janelle. So
thank you.
here we go. We get some goddess, and I'm really gonna freak out if Athena comes out. I'm not cherry picking. I mean, I have no idea what's gonna come up, but we'll see who comes up for you. Let's see, Janelle. That wasn't super clear, so let me shuffle again. Okay, here we go. Oh, ooh. You have the Egyptian goddess Bast.
Oh,
Represents independence. And she's associated with cats. So cats are very independent. And it's saying that your independence is actually your strong suit. It's like your superpower. And not in an aggressive way, because sometimes we associate independence with someone, being bossy or like not like, no, 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 no. It just, you are your own person. You are your own goddess. Not that you don't need people around you, but your decision making, your following your own inner guidance is spot on. And again, it's part of your strong suit. It's saying your independence is a foundation for your strength and success. That you being you being the wonderful, authentic, amazing person that you are. I mean, you even kind of you got this vast look about you. A lot of the pharaohs were buried, and their wives, like Nefertiti and all them, they were buried with the cats, or
mhm.
they have the statues of cats, and it's considered because it was in a representation of the goddess Bast, because she would also guard their soul. She's a guardian of the soul.
That would make a lot of sense for
Part
me
of
as well.
what you do, part of what you are here to do. Yeah, she's saying you are a guardian of the souls that you were, and you bring this light. Can you see this light around her? These lights around.
Yes.
Yes. So you are an honored God. You have a very strong energy about you, and that's yeah. So that makes sense, Neil.
Yeah, it makes total sense. I've been working with the transitioning of souls way before I've been working with the transition and transformation of the those still here on Earth. So
Mm.
working with the transition of souls, and it's a very innate ability within me to assist that journey, that sacred journey in that transitioning period, both as they're transitioning and after. So that is something that I've done, like I said, more so than working with people on a earth.
Mm. Well, Bast has been assisting you during this lifetime. So it's not just now, like she's definitely got the energy. She's been with you. I mean, you've worked with Bast in other lifetimes as well, but that's why cats are so sacred in Egypt, right? You see them in all the hieroglyphs and everything. That's powerful, Ginny.
I love the validation. Yeah, thank you.
Wow, you are so welcome. Well, I do have time for one more reading. I don't know, Nikki, if yeah, you want to
Nikki.
pop somebody up, by all means.
Oh, Kathy
Hey,
Small.
Kathy,
She
small.
was our first one to register in the class. So yay.
Hey,
Okay.
great. That's right, Kathy. I'm so excited. All right, Kathy, let's see. I am going to work with the angel tarot again. So it's like I started the engine and the caboose, right? So here we go. Never go wrong with the angels. Okay, so let's see. Angels. Oh, well, this one, I don't have to shuffle anymore. One just raised its hand. Oh my. This one always makes me gasp because it's so beautiful and I love it so much. This is card 12. This is Archangel Gabriel. This is Awakening. And I love this artist's rendition of Gabriel. Very feminine. She has her trumpet there with her coppery color and her gorgeous wings. So, Kathy, you're being asked to see your life from a complete flip flop it because there's you being uniquely you is what the world needs. No more trying to fit in a box and be digestible to other people. You were born unique. You have really exceptional qualities that for a long time you were told were unacceptable or no one's going to like them or that's weird. But you know what? It is time. Gabriel has come in with the message saying, Kathy, it's time to see those very things that you saw as weaknesses as strengths because that's what makes you uniquely you. The quota's been filled on normal and boring. We don't need any more of that. So here's her full message for you, sweetheart. It says, look at things from a different perspective. This is a temporary standstill, and it's really important to be yourself. So this awakening, this is a spiritual awakening. This is the one that you've been wondering about. Is this ever going to happen to me? Yes. Now this again, and it's so great that you signed up for the yoga class. Like there are no coincidences because that's Gabrielle. She got you to Gabrielle, like she's part of my marketing team. I'm like, you just figured it out. But she knows how to get your soul to just crack open even more, that heart, and let your light shine even more. But so again, this is a pause. So for the next, I keep getting the next couple weeks. Gabriel's showing me, even up till solstice. She's showing me up till solstice. So like for the next 4 or 5 weeks here, really look at this time as very magical. And it's like when the caterpillar goes into chrysalis, right before it becomes the butterfly. There's a lot of magic going on inside that chrysalis. So there's going to be more downloads for you. You're going to get more synchronicity showing up. You're going to be noticing golden opportunities presenting themselves. Whereas before it was like, you know, things aren't working in my favor, but now they are. And you're going to literally start to see yourself through the divine's eyes, how Gabriel sees you.
Oh,
You're a magnificent being, an earth angel who was meant to be unique, to be different. Please do. Please do. The world needs you. But there'll be a little bit of an integration for you to fully like, oh, yeah, okay. Okay, yes. And it's like baby steps. So they're not, the angels are never going to shove you or push you into something you can't handle too quickly. It's going to be a very natural, organic process, but it's going to feel right. And even the fact that you're on today and you got this card, you can, it's all Gabriel's divine. Yeah. Wow. Thank you. You're so welcome, Kathy. I'm going to show this one. This card always takes my breath away, as I just love it. Is we need you and your unique authenticity. Just keep showing up more authentic, more you, more who you really are, not who you think the world needs you to be. So this is beautiful.
And we know, and most of us know and love our Kathy. So you're gonna just so enjoy her having her in your class. And Sue Ann says that she also signed up for your yoga class. And Shelly's saying that she loves this. She's got to go sign up for class.
Yay!
You guys, I know everybody wanted a card from our beautiful Joanne, but Mondays you have an opportunity. Every Monday morning she is live in her group. So you guys jump over, like and follow. You guys will be notified. You guys can continue to get angelic guidance from our beautiful Joanna. And Joanna, I just have to ask, how long will the Zoom link be available?
Well, the short answer is forever. The long answer is that I will have it available through Zoom complimentary for 30 days. Now, if you want to download it to your computer and have it forever and ever and ever after, it usually won't download to an iPad or a phone. It's too big. So it'll need to be a desktop or a laptop. So again, short answer is forever for your lifetime. And again, the long answer is I'll have it complimentary for 30 days through Zoom. And then after that, again, and then you can just download it, of course. And some of you may notice too, there's a Monday night class that's called Life Enhancing Foods, Teas, and Herbs to soothe and nurture and calm your soul. And that's lecture based, but also I will have a meditation at the end of that one, as well as time for Q&A at the very end. But for the yoga class, I'm not going to do Q&A after, because we'll be right after Shavasana. Everyone's just going to want to slip off into Never Land and stay there, which is fine. Please do take it, just see that day as nurturing and loving yourself, as being very kind and very compassionate towards yourself. Because as Janelle said, when I do on Sundays, I send out an email, and I also put it on my Facebook group and in my YouTube. But I have a video for the week for the cards for the week. And the Friday, Saturday, Sunday is the 3 of Air, which is really healing the heart. Not jumping to what I call silver lining syndrome, where a lot of people who have issues with grief or sadness, they don't want you to be sad. They don't want you to express grief because it makes them uncomfortable. But it's really important. The guidance from the angels for this weekend is to really take care of you, to really let your heart heal. And I'll tell you what, when there's a group yoga class, anytime there's a group anything, it's that energy coming together helps you to heal at a level and to go to like a meditation level that you could not get on your own. Right. There really is something powerful about, even though it'll be virtual, there's no time with the angels and these ascended beings and guides. There's no time. It doesn't matter. The frequency, we're all tapped in. We have the same intention. So there's a lot of healing that will be happening this weekend, and you'll feel the ripple effect of that throughout the rest of the week and whatnot. So anyway, I'm so excited, but that's a Monday class. So what I did, probably some of you saw on my website, is like, if you're like, I just don't want to do the yoga class, that's fine. I mean, I'll love you anyway. I don't mind. I don't mind. Maybe you want to do the Monday night one where you're like, yeah, I would like to know. Because again, the big thing with doing energy work, high level work, is keep this body healthy. So that's why I'm doing the yoga, the physical practice, meditation, some pranayama, breathing. There'll be a healing meditation at the end. But then that Monday night one is more lecture discussion based. There won't be any yoga. It'll be, yoga of food, but the foods to help you, to really, take you to really heal you and love on you and bless you.
Oh, thank you,
Oh, good.
Kathy.
Kathy, you signed up for both. Yeah, there's a discount if you sign up for both.
Fantastic.
So
That is fantastic.
yeah.
And as you introduce more classes and courses, and if you have the time and you want to bring this information onto another Phoenix Friday, you know that you have a standing invitation anytime you
Oh,
have something you would like to share. And thank you all for joining us. Check her out, like and follow. She's on YouTube, she's on Facebook, and she has her website. So, and she does record the classes, And when we look at the moving meditations, when I live by pray always, and this is my grounding. This is my meditation, and when I pray always, my life becomes a prayer. Every moment is in that energy of appreciation and connection, and this brings me inward. So you guys remember, when you're washing your hands, take the opportunity to go within and use that healing water to release anything that you feel is heavy on you that day. Just walk with the intention and the mindfulness. And when you join this yoga class, she'll be able to give you those tools to help utilize how important grounding is for your connection, not only with the divine, but how you show up for yourself and others in your life as well. So thank you for coming on and sharing. And is there any final words that you would like to leave our audience with?
I always like to end with just reminding, I mean, I said it earlier, but I have to say it again, is that the angels love you. They did not make a mistake. Remember, there's no administrative error. You are here because your light, just you being here, is part of the healing of the world. And there's a really great quote I heard from Robert Holden recently about, he said, we are light sitting in light. And really our only purpose, people think it's a thing, but it's like, it's being the presence of love, because the true leader in the room at any given time is the person that brings the most love, being the presence of love. So it's already in there. It's not something you have to look for. You are already love. And just be so compassionate and gentle and kind with yourself. You are doing wonderful work. And, the angels are always applauding you. They love you. So those are my final words. And I love all of you. Please know that I'm sending love and blessings to you for a week full of magic and miracles, and just more opportunities than you think you can handle, but you can. So,
Well, thank you. And if I'm just going to do a quick plug here, guys, if you haven't already seen the poll post in regards to the class that Nick and I are teaching, which is Invoking the Archangels for Focused Inner Healing. Check out the poll. Nikki will drop the link to the poll. And you guys were asking what time works for you. It'll be on a Saturday. It'll be in a Zoom. And we are hoping that we can accommodate the time frame so that everybody can join us. And I'm going to not keep talking about that. I just wanted to let everybody know about it. But thank you. You guys register, connect, like, and follow this beautiful angelic being here on earth with us. So from me, it is namaste and aloha.
I'll say namaste and happy trails because I'm in Montana.
There we go.
There we
All
go.
right, everybody. Good night.
Bye. Thank
God
you.
bless
Angel
everybody.
blessings.